Alright, hello everybody. Today I'll be playing this Yuri visual novel, Take a Hike, that is. Well, apparently high school girls going camping and being grumpy and stuff like that. And well, it is Yuri, so well, that's probably not all. When I got a new outfit that I made. Hello there. Let me see. Oh, like this. But yeah, let's get started, I guess. Not sure what the layout of the game is, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's get started. Oh, and let me know if there are any issues with the quality of shots, because my setup is a little different. And yeah, I have been sick, really bad case of flu, so haven't been able to stream for a while, sadly, but now I'm pretty much back. Olive. Hey, wait. I call out to the lit young woman ahead of me on the forest path as I begin running to catch up with her. Leave me alone. You can't just run off on your own, Miss Yarrow said. I don't care. Maybe I should actually, move to the other side so I don't block the characters. But this might be kinda tricky too. Or maybe like this. Got to be careful not block the text either. Though I will read it, but still. Okay. Her voice cracks on the last word as she speeds up even more. I do my best to pick up my own pace in response, my feet rapidly slapping against the packed dirt of the trail. Miss Yarrow said, we can't. My increasingly heavy breathing forces pauses into my shouts. We can't go anywhere without a camping companion or something. I forgot the phone, obviously. That is always a thing. Or at least, well, I know to keep the phone closer now, so it's easier to set it down. I think she called it a forest friend. What is a forest friend? He's just like a normal person. But that doesn't matter because I'm not your forest friend. Okay, well. I barely catch her last few words on account of the steadily widening gap between us. Summon all my energy and try to shout even louder so that she won't miss anything. I just want to make sure that you're okay. It doesn't seem that she is super okay. My attempts to gain on her are all failing. I can't even be certain about her next reply, but I think it's I'm fine, which I don't believe for a second. Panting, I slow down to a labored jog and make one last effort at yelling. Can you at least slow down? If she says anything in response to that, I can't hear it. I trudged along the trail wiping sweat off my brow and struggling to catch my breath. I wouldn't have finished my water bottle so early in the hike if I had known it would turn into a chase. I'm about to give up and head back to Miss Yarrow with the bad news that I lost my classmate when I reached the top of a hill and catch a glimpse of something blue in the distance. I speed up to a jog again, trying to get close enough to be sure that it's her and not just some hapless bystander wearing the same color shirt. It is her. Against all odds, the human hurricane has slowed down to a reasonable walking pace. I step off the trail and try to conceal myself in the trees, hoping to catch her unawares. I know you're there, Olive. You're not stealthy. She doesn't sound happy, but at least she's not running this time. Damn, I was practicing to be a man tracker. Oh, too bad, like that only work on men, I guess. I step back onto the trail and walk beside her. So what's up with the escape attempt? Like she's running away from the camp or something, I guess. I mean, I'm not a big fan of field trips either, but I don't hate them enough to want to take my chances in the wilderness instead. Sage scoffs. It's not like I was going to get lost. This island is 8 kilometers long. The trails are clearly marked, and other people are camping and hiking all over the place. Oh, 8 kilometers is like a pretty long distance to get like, well, lost or not, if not lost, like at least like exhausted. So what was the plan then? Join up with another group, convince them to share their food by impressing them with your running skills. I just wanted to be alone for a while. I was going to come back. Well. Apparently, lone teenagers in the woods are extremely at risk of being mauled by bears. Well, not sure about that. I guess like you get unlucky, but like teenager or not doesn't really matter. I don't know if lone matters either. But usually like bears are good if you don't like make them nervous, or like if you run away they usually don't chase you, I think. Really island, at least it's not like Mr. Beast Island or something stupid like that. Hopefully. She raises an eyebrow at me disdainfully, and I rush to clarify that I wasn't entirely serious. Or so says Miss Yarrow, who entrusted me with the quest of retrieving the runaway. Is that why you chased after me? You didn't want to get in trouble with Miss Yarrow. She raises her voice to a whiny pitch when she enunciates our teacher's name. Yeah, like, like Yarrow. Pretty much pronounced like that in Japanese is basically like a rascal or something. So like the name of the teacher gives me weird vibes. Well, I mean, she told me to do it, but I would have done it anyway. Why? Because you seemed really upset and I wanted to see if you were okay. Why do you care? Well, getting lost in the woods is kinda bad, I guess. Well, in that isn't to like this being a yuri game, I guess. Why do you ask so many questions? I'm not allowed to be invested in the welfare of my classmates. I just think it's kind of weird that you are. I mean, no one else cares what I do. Yeah, I don't know, like the high school around here, like people kinda cared about each other at least. At least more than in the primary school. Where like, well, some people felt like they actively cared about people feeling bad. Why do you think that? Do you see anyone else running after me? Maybe they would have if I wasn't already doing it. I doubt it. Sage kicks a rock in the trail and sends it flying. I shrug and continue walking alongside her in silence. There's not much you can do to debate with someone who's determined to prove that no one likes them. Yeah, it is probably like a tricky thing. But like, well, sticking along maybe helps. I turn my attention to our scenery for a while, watching the tops of the trees gently swaying in the wind. When Sage speaks again, she's staring down at her shoes. You're not going to make me go back to the campsite, right? Miss Yarrow said we can stay out until dinner time as long as we stick together. She just didn't want you to be alone. Oh well, I'm glad Miss Yarrow approves. Why do you keep saying her name like that? Like what? You know, the weird sing-song voice you're doing. You're like, Miss Yarrow. But probably not like that. I do my best to imitate her grating tone. Maybe it's more like Miss Yarrow. I don't sound like that. Come on, you know what I mean. Do you not like her or something? Not really. She tries way too hard to be the cool teacher. What do you mean? Does it not drive you crazy when she tries to reference outdated internet memes? Like that one time she told us to yeet our napkins into the garbage before leaving the picnic. Oh, people use that still. Still, so well. Yeah, it's, I guess, old, but I don't know if it's outdated. I thought that was pretty funny. There was like another level of comedy to it, like she knew it was ridiculous and did it on purpose as a parody of uncool teachers or something. Yeah, I don't know if it goes that far. I think you're giving her way too much credit. But I shouldn't be surprised, since you have such a big gay crush on her. What? No, I don't. I stammer a failed retort like a complete idiot. Sage rolls her eyes. Calm down. I'm not judging you. I like girls too, obviously. I just think she's a pretty weak choice. as far as crushes on teachers go. Why not pick someone who doesn't feel the need to make everything into a semi-ironic fellow kids joke? Like Mrs. Sylvester or something. But the Mrs. part might be like an issue, I guess. Unless you want to go like housewrecking or something. What? Mrs. Sylvester is like super old. I'm not saying I'm into her personally. I'm just saying I'd prefer her to Miss Yarrow. If I had to choose. Yeah, some people like the older lady, I guess. Cougar. Under what circumstances are you imagining that you have to choose seats? Is someone putting a gun to your head and demanding you make out with the teacher? Yeah, hopefully not like that is. That is like creepy stuff. It's hypothetical. Well, your hypothetical scenarios make no sense. And I still think Miss Yarrow's jokes are funny. Sage rolls her eyes again. You're definitely the only one. I bet she's torturing everyone else back at the campsite with her comedy right now. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the island, the young teacher in question affects a deep, gruff voice as he strides across the campsite to her students. Miss Yarrow. Roll call. Abandoning a game of cards they were playing on the picnic table, two young men spring to their feet. Private Reed. Reed. Sir. Present and accounted for, sir. Private Basil. Sir. Also here, sir. Private Heather. Crickets. Well, I guess Private Heather is, well, a little more private than Private Heather. I believe she is in her tent, sir. Heather, get out of here. We are making dinner. Miss Yarrow pauses, but there's no response. Maybe she's taking a nap. I'll let her sleep a bit more. Yeah, or maybe she's gone. Also, like, escaped the camp. Seems to be a trend. Adios, gentlemen. The boys shift into more relaxed posture as Miss Yarrow drops the military act and lets her voice return to its normal register. Good news and bad news. The good news is tonight's dinner is those delicious sausages we got from the farmer's market. The bad news is the guy at the welcome center just told me there's a campfire ban on right now because of how dry the weather has been lately. Oh yeah, that is a thing, like that is like in the like weather forecasts, like every now and then. But especially lately. Well, not lately in as months, but lately as in years. The good news is we can still cook the sausages with the frying pan and the little stove. The bad news is we don't seem to have any cooking oil in the cooler. What idiot was in charge of packing that? I think it was Miss Yarrow. Never mind. The good news is, the nice women over at the next campsite forgot to pack a lighter, and I was able to negotiate use of ours in exchange of use of their cooking oil. Okay, well, it is trading kinda camping then. Which is an important teachable moment for you kids about the value of bartering and working together as a community. That's what people used to do before this whole social construct of money was invented, you know? Things didn't have an abstract made-up monetary value. Their worth was determined by how useful they could be to you or to your neighbors. I guess. And that's part of what's so great about camping. Even if only slightly, and only for a few days, you get to escape from the trappings of our overly complex modern society. Well, that I kinda understand. What was I talking about before that? The cooking oil? Alright. The bad news is, they didn't actually have cooking oil. The good news is that they had olive oil, which is pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah, I guess. Not really. Well, I'm sure it will work anyway. So who wants to start cooking the sausages? I will. Take it away, Reed. Miss Yarrow lifts a small camping stove onto the picnic table with a clank. She ceremoniously hands Reed a canister of gas to connect to it and begins rummaging through some luggage to find a frying pan. While her back is turned, Reed starts the stove with the gas dial far too high, grins at the dancing flames. Okay. Yeah, I think like your olive oil is pretty much cooking oil, I would say. Oh, let me move the chat to my different screen because it is too small. Kinda awkward. Like I got the new monitor, but well, like it is like some weird 4K monitor. Like I got it from like fellow vampire lady's brother, and I was like, well, it's probably not just the usual kind I have, but nope. For some reason, some people have these huge monitors lying around. But yeah, olive oil is pretty much cooking oil. Like, not sure how it works in campfire, but I would expect it to work on frying pan, like campfire or not. Definitely works like on a stove. Why not? Like olive oil is, at least in my mind, like the better kind of cooking oil. Anyway, Basil gestures slightly at him, and he responds by rolling his eyes and turning it down to a reasonable level. Here we are. Miss Yarrow triumphantly holds up a tin frying pan in one hand and a half-empty bottle of yellow labeled no-name brand olive oil in the other. Basil takes them and jostles Reed out of the way, having apparently decided that he should do the cooking. Miss Yarrow takes no notice. Alright, I'll get Heather to help make a salad. But too bad she's probably not there. Nap time's over, Heather. She calls out while crossing through a thin line of trees to the next campsite. As their fight for dominance over the stove continues, the boys hear their teacher unzip the entrance to the girls' tent. It's time for dinner already. Heather. Where the hell is she? But neither of these is Heather, so I guess Heather is yet another runaway. And people are always saying they don't like her because she's whiny and annoying at the beginning. But you can't tell me those dumbass kids in the original weren't exactly the same. But they get a lot of character development. Yeah, so does she. But no one watches long enough to get to it because they would rather complain about how the original was better than give anything new a chance. I wonder what they are talking about. I can't believe you think it was better than the original. Also, really good representation of bi girls. Now that would narrow it down a lot, but I have no idea what has any of that, sadly. Barely, they don't even kiss. They don't have to. It's really clear if you pay any attention to subtext. Oh, well, that's kinda more iffy thing. Which no one does, of course. I cannot comprehend your opinions on television, you absolute mad woman. Oh, turn right here. If you're trying to distract me from your bad takes by giving me directions, then you... Whoa. A moment after turning down another trail, we emerge out of the forest in the plateau of rock. This is so cool. Why is this part of the island all covered in rocks? How many classes did you skip leading up to this trip? It's the Canadian Shield, which is the what? The part of Canada that's all covered in rocks. Okay, well. Oh, cool. This way. Sage leads me across the rocky expanse, down a thin trail of another wooded hill. Yellow! Well, at least I know now that it is a thing, but beyond that, not so much. Why would there be a part of Canada that is all rocks? Is it an ice age thing or something? Anyway, where are we going? The beach. I saw it on the map earlier and thought it might be cool to check out. Also, you really did have a plan when you took off. I told you. We arrive shortly at our destination. A small bay with cliffs to the left and right, and the glittering waters of Lake Huron in front of us. Want to go swimming? I look down at the rocky shore. My at the landscape immediately swept away by the thought of Sage scrutinizing everything I dislike about my body, not to mention the fear that I might accidentally spend too much time examining hers. Well, you brought your bathing suit on the hike, right? Oh yeah, I have it on underneath my clothes. Very convenient. Then let's go. I take a deep breath and begin unbuttoning my shirt, each button seemingly more difficult to undo than the last. Sage appears to have no such reluctance about getting undressed, as he is already testing the temperature of the water with her toes by the time I get to the bottom button. Her uniformly tanned body suggests that, unlike me, she's already spent a lot of time outside without much clothing this summer. Well, she's naturally browner also. Hey, are you checking me out? What? No. My face gets even hotter than it already was, as one of my worst anxieties about the situation comes true. You totally were. You were looking right at my boobs. I just noticed that you have a really nice tan. Yeah, right. You were checking out my boobs. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Sage smirks, placing a hand on her hip. Alright, I won't be mad as long as we are even. What do you mean? You have to let me check you out too. Fair enough, I guess. Why do you want to do that? It's only fair. Go on. Okay. I slip my unbuttoned shirt off my shoulders and hesitantly approach the water. Sage pointedly looks down at my frilly bikini top, and I regret not buying a new, more adult-looking one before the trip. She looks back up into my eyes and shrugs. Not bad. Are we even now? What? You're going to go swimming in your jeans? You need to take those off too. Oh, right. I fumble with my belt and pants while watching Sage's bemused expression. Why do all my clothes have to have so many buttons? At what feels like an eternity, I finally finish undressing and take another shaky step towards Sage. Cold water laps against my ankles, and I look down at the bottom of the lake, trying to pretend I'm watching out for rocks I might step on. Really, I'm examining the childish ruffles and one elastic of my old purple bathing suit, and checking for any especially unflattering details about my body that might be highlighted by the harsh afternoon sunlight. Well, I don't know if it's that serious. I hope Sage isn't looking as closely as I am. Probably not. My face flustered, I lift my eyes up to meet hers and find that her mocking smile has faded in the favor of a sudden seriousness that makes me worry that I have done something wrong. Her lips take a moment to form a word, and I brace myself for some kind of reproach. Leave. But before I can find out what the problem was, we are interrupted by the sound of footsteps rushing toward us, and the revelation of whose footsteps they are twists Sage's expression even further. Heather. There you are, Miss Yarrow says. What are you doing here? If you would let me finish, I would tell you. Then tell me. Heather applies an exaggerated amount of enunciation to each syllable of the phrase Sage cut off. I watch the conflict uneasily, with no idea how to intervene. Miss Yarrow says that you have to come back because it's almost time for dinner. Well, you can go back and tell her that we'll be there after we go for a swim. I'm not going back on my own just to pass on a message for you. Didn't you just come here on your own to pass on a message for her? Yeah, but it was boring, so I'm not going to do it again. Well, we are going swimming, so you can either go back and tell Miss Yarrow that or sit around waiting for us. What? I'm not allowed to go swimming. You hate swimming. I do not. When we went swimming earlier in the semester, you complained the whole time. I was only complaining because that pool Miss Yarrow took us to was totally gross. Heather begins undressing and tossing her clothes to the side. I like swimming. Let's all go swimming. Her bathing suit is even frillier than mine, but it's a style that suits her a lot better than it does me. Okay. Sage rolls her eyes and wades out into the bay, leaving the two of us standing on the shore. Hi, Heather. Hi, Olive. She takes one step into the water and immediately lets out a blood-curdling shriek. Oh my god, it's so cold. Whoever said swimming was supposed to be relaxing. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the island, the young teacher sits at the picnic table with her head in her hands. A plate of untouched sausages is next to her elbow. I'm the worst teacher in the world. You're not a bad teacher, Miss Yarrow. The sausages. Alright, really. They just have a bit of a Mediterranean flavor to them. Which is to say, I don't think she's upset about the sausages, bro. I let the student escape. And now she's wandering through the wilderness alone, with no adult supervision. She could get mauled by a bear. Or worse, someone might try to peer pressure her into doing drugs. I don't think the peer pressure one is very likely. Yeah, Who needs to be peer pressured to do drugs? Yeah, sure. And that aside, she did seem pretty prepared from the note she left. Yeah, she took the big flashlight and the rest of the good trail mix. I wish I had been as prepared as she is when we went hiking earlier. Miss Yarrow looks up, her eyes brimming with tears. You really think she'll be fine? Totally. I bet she's found Olive and Sage by now. And the three of them are such good friends. Absolutely. They are probably having a great time. Not like 100% sure about that. Yeah, a great time. Thanks, boys. Miss Yarrow finally sits up straight, takes a bite out of her sausage. This tastes pretty weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it does. That's one strike against the bartering system, I suppose. Bartering system. We swim in silence, Heather mostly waiting near the shore, while Sage's front crawls smooth laps around the bay. I float on my back, holding up my arm to shield my eyes from the sun. It's not the afternoon filled with fun and camaraderie that one might hope. Maybe it's camaraderie, I'm not sure. Anyway, that one might hope for on a school field trip, but at least it seems to calm the two of them down. Sage is the first one to emerge from the water and grab a towel. Heather and I wordlessly follow her example. Soon we are all fully dressed in slightly damp clothes and making our way back to the trail. So, what's for dinner, Heather? You said Miss Yarrow wanted us to come back because it was almost dinner time, right? Oh, yeah, I think it is. Shepherd's pie. Wow, nice. I love shepherd's pie. I hope Reed doesn't eat it all before we get there. Oh my god. When he ate all those pancakes this morning, I was so mad. I only got like half of one. One time I saw him eat 2 whole foot-long subs in the cafeteria. How does he eat so much? Do you just need that many calories to play hockey or whatever he does? I can't help but smile at Heather's sweet and innocent face. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just because he's high all the time. Well, how do you know? Because he constantly smells like pot. How do you know what it smells like? Heather. She spends a moment in deep contemplation. Oh my god, are you like a stoner? Sage, did you know Olive is a stoner? I hadn't been sure if Sage was even listening to us from her position slightly ahead of us on the trail, but she chuckles in response. I'm not surprised. Hey, I'm not a stoner. I have just tried it a couple of times. Well, that is close enough in my books. I didn't realize you were a juvenile delinquent. It's legal now. Yeah, well, I guess in some places. Not if you're under 19. Well, I'm pretty much almost 19. You turned 18 last week. Miss Zero gave you a cupcake. I was there. Foiled again. I grin, happy to have drawn Sage back into the conversation. I pick up the pace a bit so all three of us can walk side by side. So do you have like a fake ID or something? Nah, just a cool older cousin in Toronto. Oh, I'm moving to Toronto. Oh, simple reasons, I guess. Nice. Do you want to? U of T. Nice, you going to U of T. Oh, that is probably like University of Toronto or something, I guess. York. You know what they say about York? What? If you can hold a fork, you can go to York. Okay. That's so mean. For a moment, I'm worried that this will reignite their earlier argument, but fortunately, they are both still smiling. Yeah, like, pretty like local jokes, I guess. I kinda see it, but still pretty like local jokes. I'm going to U of T for engineering. Oh, I bet you'll be good at that. That robot you made was so cool. I didn't make it. The whole robotics club made it together. Yeah, you were a part of that. Well, like robots are fun. Just like takes money to be able to do like hardware things, but would be fun. I guess so. Where are you going to university, Olive? I suddenly feel unaccomplished next to these two future planning scholars. I'm not yet, at least. I don't really know what I want to do. Well, maybe you want to go to Toronto because of the drugs. But my cousin needs a new roommate in the fall, so if I can save up enough money, maybe I'll move to Toronto too. Well, there we go. Yeah, let's all go to Toronto. Heather skips ahead happily, catching up to Sage. Ooh, check out that weird tree. It's got like a spiral shape in the bark. I see it too. As soon as I reach the same spot on the trail, a distinctive spiral design, setting one tree apart from the others. Oh yeah, I wonder if someone called that in. You shouldn't go around carving trees in a national park. Yep. Yeah, probably not. You'd better enjoy seeing these trees while you still can, Heather. My mom's friend went to York and she said it freaked her out that there were pretty much no trees on campus. Do universities normally have trees? Good question, I guess. I don't really know. Not like the university here is like, well, there are trees at least. It's not like exactly in the middle of the forest, but well, here in Finland, like, well, there are forests usually nearby wherever you go. Maybe not in the most like southern Finland, but well, like the north is basically just forest and nothing else. And then like in the middle it's like, well, a little bit of forest and a little bit of fields and a little bit of cities. I guess like Canada is pretty similar, like I would imagine. Like Canada definitely has like a lot of wilderness. But like big cities, well, they might have like fell all the trees so well. But anyway, this was also in the 70s, so they might have planted some since then. Well, I'm excited to go, whether there are trees or not. Did you find out before or after you got into York that you still needed your phys ed credit to graduate? Is that like physical or physics? Maybe physical education credit to graduate. Huh. Heather steps slow back down a bit as a contemplative expression washes across her face. That's why everyone's in this class, right? I had totally forgotten that I took drama instead in grade 9 until the guidance counselor reminded me. I was baffled to find out that the phys ed requirement was actually a real requirement. I thought it was like a suggestion. So basically you need to go camping to go to York, I guess. Meanwhile, York has no trees, so well, I guess maybe they are like, well, you gotta enjoy the trees while you can. You didn't take gym in grade 9? If I had, I would have been enjoying a nice free period this semester instead of being eaten alive by mosquitoes. Same. I'm glad they gave us outdoor ed as an option though. I'd much rather be camping than running around in the truck with a bunch of 14-year-olds. Gym wasn't so bad. We got to play dodgeball sometimes. Why are you here if you already have your phys ed credit? Heather shrugs. I heard they were adding this class and I thought it sounded fun. But one of them at least like actually wants to do camping. You signed up for this on purpose. Well, like, honestly it doesn't sound that bad. Like camping can be fun, but it is like really hard to get into it. Well, apart from mosquitoes, but well, you can buy the mosquito repellent, I guess. You had other options and chose to spend the semester wandering the wilderness with 4 losers who came previously close to not graduating. Who are you calling a loser? Okay, mostly myself. But you're right, that's a really weird decision to make, considering that I haven't seen you look like you were having fun at any point in this class. Heather folds her arms. Yeah, well, I make a lot of choices you probably wouldn't understand. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just saying you make a lot of assumptions about me that are... So now they are getting into arguments, I guess. All I said was that you don't seem like you're having fun. You complain all the time, so I don't know how... Okay, first of all, hang on you guys. Miraculously, they stopped bickering and listening to me. What? I hadn't noticed that big spiral on the tree before. And if I had gone past that tree before, I would definitely have noticed something weird like that. What do you mean? We are trying to go back the way we came earlier, right? So if we are seeing things we haven't seen before... OF. Nope, I guess they're lost. Elsewhere on the island, the teacher and her 2 students are huddled around a fire pit, each holding a sharpened stick with a puffy white marshmallow on the end. Upon first glance, an observer might assume that the 3 of them are breaking the fire ban. However, further investigation would reveal that in fact they have set up the small gas stove where our campfires should rightfully be and are attempting to roast marshmallows over the coil. This just isn't the same. I don't want to hear any complaints from you. You're the reason we have to mix some more food so the girls don't starve when they get back. I can't believe you ate all those sausages. They weren't even very... I can't believe you ate... Oh, that is a weird mechanic. I mean, there were so many of them. But like, well, especially when like the fold is here like this, can trip you off easily. I was hungry, bro. What did you expect me to do? Refrain from eating enough food for 6 people, perhaps? No way that was enough for 6 people. It was supposed to be. Well, if Sage hadn't run off earlier, the girls would all have been here to eat the sausages, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah, well, like... Well, there is a thing called refrain, and like, well, whether they are here or not doesn't like really like change it. Like, you could just not eat them. So it's her fault, really. Basil sighs deeply, and not just at the sad state of his barely roasted marshmallow. No, that was my fault. We got into a stupid argument while we were hiking, and the reason she ran off. Really? What happened? Yeah? Well... I'm so glad this course was available. When I realized I had missed that gym credit I needed, I was worried I was going to have to defer my acceptance to McMaster. You're going to McMaster. What's your major? Engineering. Where are you going? I'm doing engineering too, at U of T. Do you know what kind of engineering you want to specialize in? Really? You're going into engineering? Yeah, isn't pretty much everyone who was in the robotics club? Well, I guess so. I was just a little surprised. Why would you be surprised then? Because not that many girls go into engineering. Kinda because of like people like this. What do you mean by that? I mean, it's just true. So just because I'm a woman, you think I should be majoring in what? Needlepoint or something? I didn't say that. I just... I tried to apologize, but it seemed like everything I said just made her more angry. And eventually, she ran off to get away from me. It sounds like she was kinda freaking out over nothing, bro. That's not your fault. No, I understand. She's probably had people telling her that engineering isn't for girls and trying to pressure her into something more typically feminine her whole life. Yep, that is a thing. I'm not surprised. It was a sensitive subject. I shouldn't have been weird about it. She's right. She was in the robotics club and she was great at it. I should have guessed she'd want to be an engineer. You know, like the really weird thing about these things is that, you know, like stereotypically people are like, well, women should do like office jobs or something, and like, well, like engineering and computer science and stuff like that are pretty much like, well, you would think that they would be prime material for women, but somehow not. Well, like these people think not. Yeah. Like mostly what I don't like about the computer science thing is the bro culture thingy and such. And well, it is kinda annoying. But oh well, I'm making games solo now, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, it's my fault she ran off. Might be lost in the woods right now. I'm the worst. And you guys are right. I shouldn't have eaten all those sausages. It's my fault we have to try to roast these marshmallows with no fire. I'm the worst. We are both the worst. Big mood, boys. Big mood. Whoop. Sage is walking a few strides ahead of us. Again. She claims to remember where this trail goes from having looked at the map earlier, and she's neither Heather nor I thought to consult the map at all. We have no choice but to follow her. She says we are taking the long way around, but we'll still end up back at the campsite eventually. And it will be faster at this point to keep going instead of turn back. Yeah, sure. The kinda sounds like questionable advice. She certainly seems confident about it. She's kept up her steady pace. Meanwhile, Heather and I dawdle farther and farther behind. My feet hurt. Do you want to sit down and take a break? Thanks, but I feel like that might only make it worse. If I rest and start to feel better, it will just hurt more to start again. If I keep going, maybe I'll get used to it. Yeah, I don't know about this advice too. Hardcore and logical. Thanks. And so we continue our ill-fated trek, with only Sage's head popping in the distance to guide us. Oh hey, do you want a snack? You have got snacks. Open the side pocket of my bag. She pauses and tucks her hair behind her ear, out of the way of the backpack zipper. In doing so, she reveals a tiny aquamarine earring. I can't help but think about how it complements her eyes as I reach into her bag and find several small packages of M&Ms. No idea what that is. I also have some of that trail mix we made in class, but I think that's in a different pocket. Curiously, the M&Ms are labeled Ghoul's Mix. A couple bats decorate the packets, and yellow M&M character is wrapped in bandages. But I guess it's candy. Is this Halloween candy? How do you have Halloween candy in June? Reed gave it to me. Every year, he absolutely cleans out the sales on November 1st and then stashes it all. Yeah, that I kinda see. If you had the money, it is big saving. Well, I'm not surprised that Reed would be the one to do something like that, but why would he share his ill-gotten gains with you? We trade snacks a lot when we see each other in class. It started when he thought my granola bar looked really good and offered me some weird Korean chips his pen pal sent him in exchange. That's adorable. I want some weird Korean chips. But for now, I will have to be satisfied with Halloween M&Ms. They are actually pretty good, so I figure I'd better shout out and offer some to Sage before eating them all. Hey Sage, want some illicit off-season chocolate? No. She doesn't even look back to see what kind it is. I glance at Heather and shrug. More for me. I think it's kinda nice to like spare some still. I hand Heather one package of candy before zipping the pocket back up, and she flips her hair back into place. I can't wait to get home and take a proper shower. My hair feels so gross. It looks fine, though it feels gross. Do you want an elastic? It might not bother you so much if you put it in a ponytail. Thanks, but I hate how it looks in a ponytail. Yeah, an odd budget, I guess. If it bothers you so much, why don't you just cut it all off? Well, Sage's comment sounds flippant to me, but Heather responds with sincere interest. Oh, maybe I should. Do you think I'd look good with short hair? Sage only scoffs, so I step in and try to be hopeful. Let me see if it would suit your facial structure. Heather stops walking and turns toward me as Sage forges further ahead. I lift my hand to her chin and affect an expression of serious contemplation. She obviously hasn't spent nearly as much time outside the summer estates, but her pale, delicate-looking skin suits her perfectly. I notice that she's wearing a bit of makeup, which would be my personal choice for a campfire, which wouldn't be my personal choice for a camping trip. But I'm impressed with the way it makes her bright green eyes stand out. They are almost sparkling in the last rays of the setting sun. I have no idea what I'm looking for. She lost the stunning eyes, lighting up even more than I would have thought possible. Well, thanks for sharing your expertise. I think you look good though. I mean, you would look good with short hair also. Thanks. She starts walking again, wincing in pain with each step. Oh no, it happened. We stood still for too long. My feet are killing me. We must be almost there now, right? I hope so. Heather continues trudging along despite her discomfort. Sage, on the other hand, comes to an abrupt stop. I'm so done with this. She drops her knapsack and sits down cross-legged on the trail. Heather catches up and halts beside her. I thought you were supposed to be the one who liked hiking. Instead of looking up at Heather, Sage glares at the other girl's feet. Have you been wearing those high-heeled sandals this whole time? Jesus, that's why your feet hurt. Don't you have running shoes? No. You have impractical shoes like that, but you don't have anything you can wear to go hiking. Well, I have never been hiking before, and I like these shoes. They look good on me. Well, I don't think that is like the most important factor. Of course, you care more about what's fashionable than what you actually need. Newsflash! There aren't many cute guys to impress out on this island. Heather plants her impractically clad feet in place and turns on Sage with a ferocity I had never seen. You think I dress like this to impress guys? Is that your problem with me? I don't care about guys. I dress the way that I think is fun and nice to dress. Yeah, that is the way to go. I don't even like guys. I like you, you idiot. Okay. That's why I took this stupid class in the first place. Which is ridiculous, I know, because you hate me and I don't even understand why. Nope. By the time Sage begins to formulate a response, Heather is sprinting farther down the trail, her long hair streaming behind her. Rip Heather. I don't... Wait. Considering that this whole fight was about her high-heeled shoes, she's surprisingly good at running. I never expected that I would be spending so much of my day today watching my classmates sprint off into the distance. Hey, there's something you two have in common. Sage only grumbles in response, but she takes my hand when I offer it to her and lets me help her up. We continue down the trail in silence. It's dark outside by the time the winding trail leads us back to the camping area. Even without talking, I can feel that Sage is relieved at the familiar sight of tents and picnic tables and warning signs about bears. I also notice that her relief swiftly transforms into apprehension when we approach our campsite to find Miss Yarrow awaiting us with folded arms. The teacher stares Sage down in silence, and I turn my attention to Basil and Reed standing next to her. What's up, guys? Sup. Basil shrugs without making eye contact. Sage, I believe there's someone who has something to say to you. She nudges Basil, and he mumbles in response while staring at his shoes. I'm sorry for what I said earlier. It's okay. What did he say earlier? I understand that this whole mess began because he said something that upset her. However, Sage, just because he was a bit of a dick. Hey, doesn't justify you breaking one of the most important rules that we discussed as a class repeatedly before taking this trip. Even in the dim light of the campfire, I can see the flare of anger in Miss Yarrow's eyes. I haven't heard her raise her voice like this since the Roquefort incident in grade 10 French. Wow, no idea what happened there. You absolutely can't run off on your own like that. You could have been seriously injured somewhere on this island with no way of contacting any of us for help. It was incredibly irresponsible of you. Sage looks down in embarrassment. Are you going to suspend me or something? Miss Yarrow's tone softens. No, I'm not, but I was worried about you. Are you okay now? Yeah, I'm sorry. Miss Yarrow turns to me and smiles. Olive, thanks for going after her. That's what being hiking homies is all about. So that's what it was. Just Heather, she made it back here too, right? About 10 minutes before you did. She was in big trouble too. Where did she go? I told her to go straight into the tent, but she begged for permission to go sit on the dock and look at the stars. She argued that it was relevant to that unit we had on historical navigation techniques, so I agreed as long as he promised to write me a 2-page paper on that and absolutely not run off anywhere else under any circumstances. Sounds kinda sus. Can Olive and I go talk to her? Miss Yarrow sighs and looks at her watch. You have exactly half an hour before I'm enforcing bedtime and dragging all 3 of you back here. Come on. Sage takes my hand and leads the way past our campsite Sarah watches us leave and shakes her head. I let you all get away with way too much. Yeah, you're a pretty cool teacher like that. The last thing I hear before we get too far away is Miss Yarrow's exclamation of enthusiasm. You really think so? Sage slows down as we approach the coast of the island and glimpse the silhouette of Heather sitting with her feet on the water. She doesn't have to lead me anywhere anymore, but she's still holding onto my hand. I should apologize to her, right? I'm not sure what to say. I think that as long as you're honest with her and tell her how you really feel, it will be okay. She nods and takes a deep breath before pulling me forward onto the dock with her. Okay, let's go. You really want me come with you? I thought you might want to talk to her alone. Of course I want you to come too. I want to talk to both of you. Okay. Heather doesn't say anything when we approach her, but I have a feeling she's been waiting and listening the whole time, trying to pretend she doesn't care. Sage takes a deep breath. Heather doesn't respond, but she turns her head to look up at us. It's hard to read her expression in the dim moonlight, but Sage seems to take it as a cue to continue. I'm sorry about what I said, about you trying too hard to be stylish and impress boys, or whatever. Heather nods, but remains silent. Sage takes a tentative seat on the dock next to Heather. I remain on my feet, unsure of whether I should get involved in this conversation. I guess I have always been worried that people won't take me seriously because I'm a girl. Lately, I have been even more worried about it than usually, now that I'm going into engineering. I have always felt like I have to prove that I'm strong and tough and not too girly. Like I have to set myself apart from girls who like makeup and fashion because other people look down on them. Well, I kinda understand, but I don't think you need to do it. And because of that, I ended up treating you the way that I'm scared of other people treating me. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make you think I hate you. After a pause, Heather finally speaks for the first time. You know, just because I like nice clothes and stuff, and I don't know about hiking and outdoor things, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. I know, you're really smart. You're going to a really good university. I didn't mean the joke I made about it earlier either. Heather smiles. Oh, that's okay. That was pretty funny. And you do a really good job with the makeup and fashion. You look good. Thanks. I'm really glad you both came looking for me today. Sage's comment reminds me of something I have been wondering about. With some of the tension diffused, I take a seat on Sage's other side. Heather, how did you find us anyway? Oh, I just guessed where I thought Sage might have been going. I remembered her pointing to that swimming area on the map of the island when we first looked at it in class. Oh, that's right, I noticed it and said it looked like a cool place. That was weeks ago, you remembered that? I have a good memory, I guess. Also, to tell you the truth, it wasn't really dinner time yet. Miss Sarah wouldn't have sent me off on my own, even if it was. I just wanted to hang out with you both. Also, that's why Reed said you were in big trouble. I was. She was really mad. She was mad at me too. Not me. I'm the perfect student. Yeah, except that you do drugs, I guess. I expect them both to laugh at Sage's response with sincerity. It's true, you have been the most responsible one of the three of us all day. You're the only one who didn't run out into the woods alone, and you did your best to keep the peace when Sage and I were bickering. I don't know what we'd do without you. Sage grins and puts her arm around me. Really? Heather rests her head on Sage's other shoulder and reaches across her to take my hand. Really? Even with everything that went wrong today, I was happy to be able to spend time with you. Both of you. I feel like it was a pretty good day overall. You were the grumpiest one the whole time. Okay, that's true. But like you said, it was nice to spend time together. And it meant I got to think a lot about important stuff. It was also the first time in my life that anyone's ever dramatically confessed their feelings to me. Yeah, the vibes are good. Heather's eyes go wide. Wow, I did do that, didn't I? You did. You told her you like her. Why, I do. I know it might be surprising considering how rude I was to you all day, but I think I like you too. And I think I also like Olive. Is that weird? I respond to this equally exciting and terrifying situation the only way I know how, with self-deprecating humor. Yeah, it is really weird to like me. Heather laughs. If it is, then I'm really weird too. She leans across Sage and gives me a fleeting kiss on the cheek before returning her head to Sage's shoulder. What about you, Olive? Well, I struggle to put together the right words. I mean, I obviously like you both too. Why else would I have put up with you all day. They both laugh, and for some reason, it feels like there isn't anything left to say. Maybe tomorrow, the three of us will work out the details of what it means for us all to be in some kind of relationship with each other. For now, Heather and I both rest up our heads against Sage's shoulders and look up the stars. I don't think any of us has any intention of getting up and going back to the tent to sleep. We are going to be in so much trouble when Miss Yarrow has to come out here and find us. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Oh, all those notes. Well, let's see that, I guess. Oh, there is more too. A few months later, I'm sitting at a small table at the busy cafe in downtown Toronto, trying to save 2 seats with my purse and jacket. I look up when the bell on the door rings, and I'm surprised to see only one of the 2 people I'm waiting for. Hi, Olive. Hi. Where's Sage? I thought she was meeting you at your dorm. She's here, but you have to close your eyes. Why? Because it's a surprise. Okay. I reluctantly acquiesce, waiting for Heather to tell me when I can open my eyes again. I try to take a sip of my coffee while I wait, but I give up when I realize that I don't have a good enough sense of where my hand is to reliably get the cup to my mouth. I finally hear the bell jingle again. Okay, you can look. Is he that different? I open my eyes to see Sage standing next to Heather with a sheepish look on her face and an outfit I never thought I'd see her wear in a million years. Oh my god, she's wearing a skirt. Well, that much is true, I guess. We did a makeover. Doesn't she look cute? She does. Sage looks down at her clothes. I don't know if I like it, but I promised I'd try it. I tried to get her to let me put makeup on her too, but she totally freaked out. You were trying to poke my eye out. I was just trying to give you some mascara. Yeah, well, it's sometimes fun to double with that, but it is pretty inconvenient. I don't see the point, but oh well. But it can be fun, I guess. With what looked like an instrument of torture. You look really good. You look really good, Sage. Thanks. What should we order? Do they have nice flavors of lattes here? This doesn't seem like a place that has pumpkin spice. Well, obviously, it's not pumpkin spice season yet. I just want vanilla or something. I'm pretty sure they have that. They also have these bagels filled with cream cheese that are really good. Well, all I want is a black coffee. Since when do you drink black coffee? I always drink black coffee. Yes, sure. I have never seen you drink black coffee in your life. When we went to that place near the bus terminal in the summer, you put like a ton of cream and sugar in it. This seems like a prime moment for one of my patented olive interjections. Okay, 1 vanilla latte and 1 black coffee. I'll go get them. I push back my seat and stand up, gesturing for Heather seats to sit down in the other 2 seats I saved for them. You don't have to pay. I can get my own. I was going to pay for your seat in exchange for you letting me give you a makeover. Oh, no one of those cream cheese bagels too. Then I'll pay for olives. I already got mine while I was waiting. And I was going to pay for yours, Heather. I still owe you from when we went to see Booksmart. Well then, yeah, I don't know, like, just like 2 people, well, this is simple enough, but with 3 people it seems really complicated. When you pay for Heather's and she can pay for mine, and I'll pay for yours next time, so don't forget that. That sounds way more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah. Okay. I'll never complain about putting up with a few complications in the details when it means that I get to spend time with my 2 ridiculous, constantly bickering adorable girlfriends. Okay, so all those notes, I guess. Oh, it is pretty long, but let's try to do it, I guess. Okay, so let's see. Notes. Hello and thank you for reading Take a Hike. A big part of the inspiration for this project, alongside camping trips with my dad and an outdoor ed class I actually took in grade 12, was the beautiful sprite art. Deji Nyoku has available for purchase on itch.io. I wanted to find a way to use those adorable characters, and since they all come with bathing suits, the idea of a group of them going camping together was born. If you take a look at them, you'll see that they also have cute underwear I never used, and there are a few more sprites that never appeared in this V, and maybe I'll have to write a sequel sometime. Well, I guess like that is one way to get inspiration. Like when you have the art in the beginning. Originally, I was planning on a longer story in more of an otome style, with a common road branching into several paths with different love interests for Olive. I actually had a decently long draft of that started, but the more I worked on it, the less fun I was having. I had put a lot of effort into planning out the structure before anything else, and the writing process was starting to feel like just checking off tasks on a boring to-do list. Making sure every love interest had an equal amount of screen time and gave you a certain amount of choices, during which you could earn a certain amount of affection points. So I scrapped that and started working on a scaled down linear version of the story instead. With only the love interests I liked most playing a major role and the other ones downgraded to comic relief. Well, I guess that's kinda how it is. But yeah, I can kinda see that. Like, though I don't know like if like the love interests need to have like equal amounts of screen time. Like it might be better to have like drastically different kind of routes for the characters. Then it's more fun to write, but sometimes like branching and such isn't actually like what the game needs. And like sometimes the linear approach is better. It kinda depends, I guess. And like sometimes like the setting only has like so much like material you can do without it getting repetitive, I guess. Also, Olive is the only character who kept a consistent name throughout that whole process. Everyone else had different names originally, but when I started to consider changing some of them for the new version, I realized I could get a nice plant theme going to match the forest setting. Those new names feel like they fit the characters so well now that it's hard to imagine them with the old ones. Miss Yarrow even used to have a first name as well as a different last name, but that was never relevant to her reduced role, so as far as I'm concerned, she just doesn't have one anymore. In fact, I'd like to imagine that various different students throughout the years have tried to find out her first name, and she's told every single one of them a completely different answer, none of which are true. I think the old version also had a reference to her teaching a philosophy class. That's a fun concept. The more I talk about this, the more I want to write another story about Miss Yarrow and her antics. Oh yeah, and the TV show Sage and Olive debate about just before going swimming is The Legend of Korra. I'm on Sage's side. It's just as good as, if not better than, The Last Airbender. Don't at me, and stay tuned for more cartoon hot takes in my future projects. Love, Jane Titer. Wow, I never watched any of this, so can't comment. But interesting insight, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Like usually, like what I do isn't like usually I have like something like pretty specific in mind in the beginning, and like it doesn't change that much most of the time. But it's kind of interesting to see how other people come up with the ideas and such, and how like the games develop. Then again, I guess because I'm like the design that kind of developer, I guess it makes sense that my experience is pretty different. Like I tend to do a lot of like planning and such before I get too far into making anything, so it's pretty rare that what I'm doing changes like too much. Well, anyway, Yeah, let's take a hike, I guess. It was pretty nice one. Like, well, I'm not the biggest fan of the polyamory thingy, but I guess it kind of worked in this one. It's fine. Can't like super relate it, but well, I'm sure like there are people who can relate it more, so that's good. Yeah, well, hopefully I'll be able to stream again next week, but I'm like super busy with the Yuri Jam project, so we'll see how it goes. Like maybe I can like combine that with like a development stream, but maybe not sure like exactly, like if there is something that is like streamable. Yeah, I wonder what that would be. But yeah, I'll try to stream at least like next Saturday, maybe Wednesday, but not sure. But anyway, thank you for watching and the comments and everything. And like, well, see you next week, I guess. Bye bye.